You are listening to Knackers in the Breeze, the podcast, with your hosts, Ryan and Barry.
Would you rather have cheddar cheese for knees, or a talking dog that only speaks in Portuguese? Or to make yourself feel really dry, would you towel dry between your thighs, or dangle out your knackers in the breeze?
Welcome to episode 20 of Knackers in the Breeze with me.
Woo! Quiet down over there, fans.
With me, Ryan.
And me, Bigger Barry.
We are the podcast that tries to achieve philosophical enlightenment by answering questions sent in by our listeners.
Also, we do try to get enlightenment, obviously. And that's what we're all doing on this planet. But we do get sidetracked sometimes. We get caught in the gutter sometimes. But ultimately, the trajectory is up. And I think if you look back at our previous episodes to where we are now...
I think we've gone from like, if it was like a martial arts thing, we've gone from like a white belt to maybe a yellow.
Oh, I like that.
Tint.
Is that before or after blue? Where does blue fit in?
I don't know.
Okay. Let's learn the belts first before we start saying that we're black.
We are two white guys.
Yeah. But yeah, we are trying our bestest to become, senseis of the philosophical craft of life. What am I saying? Just by saying nonsense like that proves that we're not quite there, because I don't really know what I'm talking about. But with the help of you, the humble listener, we are slowly getting there, and you're coming with us. We're dragging you with us.
So what we've got coming up is some questions sent in by listeners. We've got Barry's, what would you call it? Barry's crap radio game.
Waste of time.
Yeah, we've got Barry's terrible radio games coming up.
Yeah.
And
some feedback.
And our favourite section, the feedback.
And some general conversation.
And some scheduled bants.
Scheduled
bants in the shed.
We are recording in a shed, and historically that's where we recorded the majority of our episodes, in a shed. That's where all podcasts should be recorded, giving a new lease of life to a wooden structure in the garden.
I should just preface this one with, we've got quite a few toys out and about that
I thought you wouldn't tell people about.
I know the toys. That's concealed up my anus.
Oh, that toy. I wonder where that's gone.
Actual children's toys are out about in the shed, and some buttons are kind of randomly pressing. So if you hear some weird musical lullaby things in the background, then that's why.
If we fall asleep during, because a little lullaby toy has started, then you'll know why it's dead silence.
Our listeners will also fall asleep while listening.
That's true, but only because of the toy, not because of the content.
So a little bit of feedback from those of you who have listened before will know someone who contributes quite regularly called The Father of Would You Rather. And he has said, celebrating your release of episode 20, he thinks we should do a t-shirt drawing by the podcasters themselves. One with your own design, the other of Big Baz. So he wants us to do our own designs for a t-shirt of Knackers in the Breeze.
Right, okay.
As a celebration of our episode 20 release. So
here's the thing. So early on, so episode 20, an interesting stat. I will get back to Paul's point, but interesting stat. Not who's Paul? He's the father of Would You Rather. A stat that another contributor of this show called Dave told me. I don't know if it's true, that apparently 85% of all podcasts never reach episode 20.
There we go. So welcome to the death of Knackers in the Breeze.
The Nell Bell tolls. What does that mean? Anyway, so I'm just saying there's a lot of emphasis on getting to episode 20, and I think rightly so, because not a lot of people ever make it, No. So let's enjoy it. So a t-shirt, I'd be more than happy to design a t-shirt. More than happy. If you would buy one, get your pre-orders in now.
Shipping to Asia, Africa, North and South America.
Oh, and South, yeah. We've got a lot of new listeners, haven't we, recently?
Yeah.
So you're welcome if you're here for the first time. I don't expect you to be interested in a t-shirt just yet. But let's wait and see what the designs are first.
Yeah.
So I will definitely design a t-shirt for sure. So do I design just my own vision of what a t-shirt should look like for our podcast?
Yeah.
Is that what he was
saying?
saying?
As it's like related to Knackers in the Breeze. You can't
it'll be related.
20 pictures of tits.
Okay, scrap. I'll scrap that.
Cross that out.
Okay. What about 10 pictures of Right, okay, I will do
10 pictures of titties.
The bestest knackerist t-shirt design I could conjure up.
Okay, and we'll unveil them on episode 21.
All right. Consider it done, Father, would you rather? Consider it done. Whatever.
If we get to episode 21.
Oh, yeah.
We might still die.
We might be
Podcast might still die.
part of the 85%. Consider that done. I'll probably do it by the end of this podcast. I'll have that little design here. Who knows, next to me.
You got any feedback?
Yeah, I got some feedback. Got some anecdotal feedback where people have just said in general, I like what you're doing. Keep carrying on. Keep soldiering on. A bit patronising. I got some feedback off Big Bad Dave.
Dangerous Dave.
Yeah, here we go.
I had hoped by episode 20 the podcast might have matured a bit. Apparently not.
What I will say, I cut him off there for comic effect. So there we go. He follows that up with a little bit of a question.
Okay. Well, we'll get into that after the
So
feedback
we'll get to that. That's just a little bit of feedback right there.
Last episode, I mentioned that I went round a friend's house and heard them say bish as a goal went in. He's got in contact and said he didn't appreciate our taking the piss out of the word bish. Right. And he is also a Hufflepuff, and he is hurt that we called them boring.
I mean, that's just a boring thing to say, isn't it? What a boring...
Typical Hufflepuff.
Yeah, I mean, be creative with your feedback, If you're that angry and that's what you can conjure up in response, you little Hufflepuff. I'm a Hufflepuff as well, so I don't know why, I should ban
You're
with
having
him.
a huffle about it.
I am having a little bit of a huffy puff. And I should ban with my brother there, but I'm a little, who says bish? Who says bish? We got a little bit more feedback here from another fella.
Hi Ryan and Barry, I just want to say congratulations again to episode number 20. I think 20 is plenty, but getting to 50 will be extra nifty. So.
Okay,
We always like a bit of a rhyme, so...
I cut him off, but he's right. 50 would be nifty, but let's focus on the 20.
Another little bit of inadvertent feedback. Last episode, I did a little transition of Eminem Stan. I did a song, and I played it to my girlfriend just to test it out. And for those of you who haven't heard it, I'll play it after this segment, so you know what I'm talking about.
Brace yourself.
Yeah. I played it to my girlfriend, and she thought it was quite funny. I thought it was quite funny.
Comedy.
Big-headed. And then I tried to test it out on one of my friends, and I said, mate, try and listen to this. It's quite funny. And it's just basically a song about you fuck him in the ass.
Yeah.
And he didn't see any of the funny side of it. He was just worried.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Maybe I should be more worried. Should I? Not worried, but it came out of the blue. I will be honest. I was not expecting the content of that song to be that. But it made me chuckle because it's ridiculous.
This is how I did want to tell the world about my love for you, is by recording a song about you fuck him in the ass and releasing it over our co-hosted podcast.
Brilliant. I feel like I've been dragged along into this. Okay, so if you're listening, I'm not part of this, but it did make me laugh because it was absolutely ridiculous. It's the most stupid thing I've ever heard. And when you're not expecting that, and I heard the intro, I thought, I recognise this tune. Where's he going to go with this? I never expected he'd go there with that. So, you can play it now? Play it now.
Dear Barry, I've asked you a question, but it's been derailed. I left my name, my location on the age on the email. I feel like this podcast relationship will start growing stale, and this lack of reply is becoming beyond the pale. All I want is to feel you inside me. The love I feel for you so strong that it blinds me. I just need to feel your whole pelvis behind me. It's strange hearing your voice and how insane it drives me. All froze cold, I'm listening to Knackers in the Breeze. You can find them on all platforms like iTunes and Spotify.
Right, so we've got another question here from People Time that we featured in the last episode.
Friends.
The podcast that does history about individuals, and they also put a comedy twist on it. So if you like history, or you like comedy, or you just want another podcast to listen to, check them out.
What I like, can I just say, and I've said it before, what I like about their podcast is that you actually learn a little thing or two. And with us, you don't really learn you don't learn anything. You forget things, whereas with them, you gain knowledge.
So your IQ goes down whilst listening to us, but if you want to bring it back up, then People Time, we go hand in hand. We bring people's IQ back to baseline.
Yeah, I like that. Like a salty cracker and a drink of water afterwards.
Hey, Barry and Ryan, it's People Time Podcast, and I have a question for you. Would you rather live the same day over and over for the equivalent of 1,000 years? Just kind of like Groundhog's Day with Bill Murray. Just the same day, you wake up in the same place every time, can't die. Or would you rather miss the next 10 years of your life? You basically just don't exist for those 10 years. You come back, and you just have to pick up from where you are. The rest of your family and friends, they continued on. You just don't get those 10 years back. What would you rather do?
Wow. Good question. The way he said they moved on, they carried on, like the way that sentiment is horrible. So, so you're just left.
I've been gone one day, and they're like, "Well, I swear someone used to occupy this room."
Yeah. Whose
car is outside?
Whose bed did I use? Who was I sharing a bed with for a few years?
Whose grave am I dancing on?
Who the fuck? Who was that? I just carried on.
Some cunt.
And then you come back 10 years, right? You come back 10 years. You've been in purgatory. You come back. I'm back. I go, who are you? Get out of my house. In fact, no, they've moved. They don't even live here anymore. So no, not that one. How depressing is that?
So living the same day over and over again for 1,000 years. The key question is, which day is it? Do you get to choose the day, or is it this day? Do we have to record this podcast every fucking day for 1,000 years?
No.
365 days.
And here's why you don't have to do that.
1,000.
Here's why you don't have to do that. Because why would you choose to keep doing that for 1,000 years?
Well, you can, like on Groundhog Day, you can change the day as much as you can.
Yeah.
The benefit of doing it not like Groundhog Day is he couldn't leave, was it Puxtawney?
Yeah.
Whereas we can leave Broadstairs.
Kent.
Yeah, so
well, the thing is,
anyway.
How far could we get in 24 hours?
I reckon you could get to like Australia,
here's the thing.
New Zealand
I'll tell you what,
24 hours.
Between the years 200 and 400, that might be my only objective. It's like, how far can I get today? And it's just a contest with myself because I'm fucking going insane. It's like, how far can I get before time shuts back and I'm reverted back to the start of the day again and the alarm goes off? But I reckon I could probably get... Where could you get?
You can get a couple of months of fun out of that, and then it's just tedious.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You do, again, that's why I love Groundhog Day, because it goes to those dark places. So it's a fun, happy, oh, this is a silly concept. And then about 3/4 of the way through the film, he's jumping off buildings trying to kill himself. Yeah. He's trying to electrocute himself. He jumps in front of a train. It gets so dark.
Have you seen the film About Time?
What's it called?
About Time. It's called About Time.
Oh, it's not a film about time.
No.
There's fucking hundreds of them. Time Bandits.
Obviously you haven't then. But
I don't think so.
The key thing in that film is that the male members of the family, once they reach, I think it's 21, they can go back to any previous moment in their lives by just going into a dark place and just clenching their hands or whatever. And the dad, he asked his dad, what did you go and do with your time? And he went, I went back and read. I'm like, that's such a fucking Hufflepuff way of spending your fucking life.
You leave the Hufflepuffs out of this. Apart from Alex. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Who would go back and read? I mean, that's probably the right answer. It probably is the right answer.
I feel like that's what you might do. You're like a little bookworm.
I guess once you've exhausted all of our options, then do you know what? I'll head to the library for 300 years.
Do you reckon if we repeated this day for 1,000 years, the end product of this episode, would it be fucking epic, or would it just be nonsense? Would it be a mentally damaged person?
Here's the thing.
I think people that for 1,000 years have been saying the same shit, answering the same question over and over, answering this question.
I think what would happen
365,000 times.
Oh shit! That's how many it would be. I think it would either go either of two ways. Either it would be silence because I realised the pointlessness of anything, or it would be I would kick you out of the shed, lock the door. Right, you can't come in. It'd be me recording, and I'd be telling you the most I'd read every book there is. I've read all of mankind's greatest books, and I've lived 1,000 lives. I haven't. I've lived maybe 12. I've lived 12 lives. So I'll just be telling you all the wisdom and things that I've learned over that time, and what not to do, and what to do, and how to treasure every moment. So it'd go either way. But no,
that's quite philosophically enlightened, actually.
It is. But the podcast itself wouldn't go ahead as it is because that is just
because you've kicked me out.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't go ahead.
You've done the whole podcast yourself, and then in the morning you go,
Ryan, can you edit it for me, please?
You think for a second I would record this podcast after living 10 lives? You think I would do that as it is now after living 12 lives?
I don't know the maths there. Is that right?
And I keep jumping to 10 to 12. I thought you live for 80 years. That's
so
times by 12. Still not right.
Someone do the maths for us and then just email it in.
Yeah. But yeah, you would need to edit that silence or my philosophical musings.
We could just edit us doing the maths really well into it. I'm not going to.
No, going to. No.
It's a good idea.
Anyway, so yeah, I would. Do you know what I would though? I would relive the 1,000 lives.
I think I would as well. I think you could, it could be a good chance to improve yourself.
Yeah.
Could be
Another
a
piano.
good chance to, in Groundhog Day, he become a lot better person afterwards by, after becoming a lot more horrible person.
Yes.
When he first discovered it and then trying to kill himself and then getting over the suicide attempts and
But
stuff.
I think, that's like a micro... that film, it's like life, okay? You start off, you're innocent, you're pure, and then life brings you down. You get swallowed up by the hatred of the world, and eventually you come out the other side. And I think we're coming out the other side now, and this podcast is helping. Not just us, but people listening.
You're welcome.
I don't know what that meant, really. But...
Hi, Ryan and Barry. I just want to say congratulations again to episode number 20. I think 20 is plenty, but getting to 50 will be extra nifty. So I want to know what you've got in store for us on the 50th episode to celebrate. What's the after party? What's going to be on the show? Who are the special guests? I'm looking forward to it.
There we go. I mean, he's a firm believer in our ambitions and talents and a product, because it's not a product, it's art, because he's looking to episode 50 and we're barely at 20.
A lot of faith in us.
That's what I mean. He's looking right ahead, so he does believe in us, and he's trying to get probably like early VIP ticket, guest list entry to the 50th party.
I mean, he is smart. You got to book it now to get.
Book now for the 50th party. I think what I do think. What's the plan? I mean, I do see fireworks being involved.
I think
Wembley. No, Wembley?
I think it's just going to be like the Playboy Mansion. I think we're just going to.
Right. Well, we can turn the shed into the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it is already like that. I mean, shh, hose, keep the noise down.
Could you tie your velvet smoking jacket up, please? It keeps flapping open. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, it is a bit hoish in here, and a bit. It is. But we need to up the ante for the 50th episode. I just think what
more hose or sluttier hose?
More.
Quality or
I don't want any hose. Sorry, hose here now. But I want.
How are we gonna water the garden?
Oh yeah.
You thought I meant hose as in women?
No, I thought you meant the
sexist.
The tool, the gardening tool.
That's you. Barry, the gardening tool.
What?
I mow the grass and I'm a massive tool. Sorry, go on.
What I was going to say is I want...
we should mention that we are drinking again on this podcast. We went for a few episodes of being sober and it was good quality.
Yeah, the quality was very high, actually. I've heard that unanimously all around from everyone.
Yeah. So you're witnessing the decline from now.
I think this episode might be slightly longer than previous episodes because it's episode 20. And I keep saying...
Celebratory episode.
I'm sick of saying episode 20, but it's just a big achievement. So what...
By the way, episode 20.
For episode 50, I think we should rent somewhere else. Different venue.
Yeah?
Yeah. Somewhere bigger. And invite everybody that's ever contributed to the show. Any question.
Ooh. And do it live and get them up to do a live
I think so.
question.
I think so. You don't have to, but that's the incentive. Come here, ask a live question, get involved live. Invite only. Bit of shampoos.
It'd be like the dollop, and we'll tour like Australia and go there and.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm thinking a bit more small fry. I'm thinking like a local pub upstairs, But here's the thing, we've got a lot of
We're
international...
touring Australia, okay?
Yeah, Australia it is.
We could tour some pubs in Australia.
Yeah, actually, that would be fun. That would be quite a nice thing to do. Actually, I think
just like some biker bars. Fucking get out, mate.
Where is everyone? Knackers in the breeze. Where is everyone?
I love your knackers on this fucking fork in here, mate.
Have you got a question you want to ask?
Why are you still here?
Oh, I like it. Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, so what about you? What would you do?
Oh, who would I have?
I would generally invite, can I just say quick, I would invite anybody who's ever submitted a question or been a guest on the podcast. They're in. You got an invite. You're already invited. And then anybody who listens, you're also in. That's it. That's it. We can fill a whole pub.
Yeah, we can fill a small pub.
Yeah, no, I think so. And
all potential listeners as well. So we've got another 2.
Yeah.
2 in that pub.
I mean, turn up as a potential listener. I mean, that is...
I'm Peter, the potential listener.
Have you ever listened? No, but I could... One day I might. There's always a chance.
I can hear, so potentially.
If I happen to be walking past when someone else is playing it, I might hear it. I'm Peter, the potential listener. Take a seat, Pete. I can't, because then I'll hear it. All right, bye, Pete. I don't want to do the maths, but if we do an episode roughly every 2-ish weeks, let's say 2.5 weeks, and then we times that by another 30, I don't want to do the maths, but it's not that long away. So
it's quite a while.
We get my point.
We're not as consistent as we'd like to be.
What I would like to as well for the episode 50, so everyone comes in and they go, all right, we love the podcast. We're glad to be here. All right.
Is that the England football team with Australian accent?
That's Michael Owen. I'm also inviting England commentators. So he turns up. And then, they're like, where's Big Baz? Because he's a key part of this. Where is he? And there's a big jelly in the middle of the room, and I'm going to burst out of it wearing nothing. I'm naked in the jelly.
And say nothing. Just stand there.
Yeah. And you let off a party popper as I burst out. And
I've got those sparklers in my hand, and I'm just running around you in circles going,
in silence. And then I go, eat up! Jelly! And also, it's not sweet strawberry jelly, it's pork pie jelly that I've had scraped. And it just means that I have to sort of be kept in this pork pie, briny, saline jelly, and I have to breathe through a little straw for an hour before waiting for everyone to arrive. But I can see just distorted through the jelly. I can see your figure, and you just put a thumbs up to let me know that in a minute jump out because everyone's here. And then I jump out, you come run around me with the sparklers.
Yeah.
And I go, DJ, hit that. And then he plays Knackers in the Breeze intro song. Everyone goes crazy. And then I go, food's up, eat up jelly.
Yeah. I think that's on everyone's mind.
Yeah. Food's up, eat up jelly. And then, and then in episode 100, I don't even want to think about that right now. Maybe episode 100. Episode 100, we're both in the jelly. And nobody turns up.
There was like 99% of me went, when you said like the jelly of the pork pie. And 1% of me would be like, actually.
I mean, yeah, the salt of a lick of that jelly would be quite nice.
Is pork pie just a British thing?
I don't know.
If you don't know it, go and Google it. I mean, it doesn't look appetizing, but it does taste quite nice.
No, it's just pork meat surrounded by sort of a nice crust, a nice sort of
what's
crust.
the jelly? Is it like a gelatin kind of?
The jelly, yeah, it's sort of like it comes, it's like gelatine pig.
And there is a reason
jelly.
for it. I was watching Great British Bake Off, but I don't know it. It's I think to keep the pork moist or something.
I think it stops the pastry fusing to the...
so it's not overbaked.
I actually don't know. I'm just lying. I don't know. And I've watched every episode of Bake Off, and I don't know the Great British Bake Off. Okay, yeah,
just
I don't
make
know.
sure it doesn't have a soggy bottom.
That's a pretty good impression, actually. That's really good. He's invited to episode 50.
Yeah, Paul Hollywood.
Paul Hollywood. Could you let us know if you have pork pies in your country? Please let us know. Or actually, it's more interesting if you don't.
Imagine no Middle Easterners are going to get in contact saying, yeah, we have a load of pork pies. No, we don't.
Oh, yeah. I have just cut off a few Bill people. Yeah, sorry about that. But if you have any... I don't know, forget what I'm saying.
Fuck it.
Let's listen up, Knackers in the breeze. Listen up, Knackers in the breeze.
Okay, Barry, I have got a question for you to answer, okay?
Yeah.
Hello, Barry. Just on my drive to work. It's all hands-free, so don't you worry. Would you rather give up listening to and participating in music, or would you rather give up listening to and participating in podcasts? Answer me that, you bastard!
A little bit of road rage there in the morning drive. You bastard! Here's the thing. I don't really listen to music that much no more.
Really?
No. I listen to podcasts.
Aren't you in a band?
No.
No? Okay.
No, I'm actually not. No.
Okay.
No. I mean, I jam every now and then, but I'm not. I mean, I guess you could say in a band, but I don't play. We don't play live. I don't play live. So anyway, my point is, I don't really listen to a lot of music anymore. I listen to podcasts. Because on the drive to work, I listen to podcasts, and on the drive home, I listen to podcasts, and while I'm doing shit around the house, I listen to podcasts.
If a podcast has music in, do you like fast forward it or mute it and go, nah, get out?
I don't listen to you anymore! Actually, funny you said that, because I do like podcasts that have music in. Maybe that's why, because they're nourishing a little part of me that...
This podcast is perfect for you.
That's why I listen and partake. I don't know, I think music is, hits you on a deeper level. It's good for party. Imagine being at a party... And I couldn't listen to any music.
Going to a party and go, okay, we're just going to put a podcast on for you. Who's a fan of cereal?
Yeah. That's the thing. I'm going to have to get rid of podcasts. I'm going to have to, because music is it's the breath of life.
But you do realise that the end of this podcast, it'd be the end of us.
Yeah, I would miss that. That's a spanner in the works.
But then again, maybe we can form a band together and just do the exact same thing, but with a guitar riff in the background.
Yeah.
Fuck this podcast. Let's make a band.
That's what I was going to say. I've got a guitar in the corner.
It's out of tune, but doesn't matter.
So with the lyrics. We're better than that. But I'd still go for the music option, I think. Music. What about you?
I would have to go with music as well, because it's...
I'm surprised you said that.
Yeah, I mean, podcasts are like a really good thing to like little documentaries and stuff in your ear, and they're great for I've got like a 45-minute commute to work and back, and then on my lunch breaks, that's a lot of time.
Sure.
And in that time, I mean, music can get boring, but at the same time, music, I've listened to like the same songs for like...
What are you talking about?
I've listened to the same songs for 20 years, so they can't
and
get that boring.
Whose fault is that?
No, but like... So they can't get that boring,
yes.
so that they stick with you and they affect you a lot more. You can't listen to the same podcast over and over
don't
for
have
20
a
years.
huge amount of re-listenability, do they?
Yeah, and eventually you're going to get to the point where you've listened to all the good podcasts, and then you're ending up on this shit.
Mm-hmm. When you've lived for 1,000 years,
over and over,
you've listened to every podcast there is, and this is what you've got left at the bottom of the barrel. Yeah, I think I agree with you. I agree with you. Because there are some songs I've listened to since the early days of my life. Still love them now. And they'll be with me for another 20, 30 years.
Yeah. So Smurfs Go Pop is obviously on the top of everyone's list.
Yeah. What's one of their best hits?
I've got a little doggy and he lives in my house.
Poopa, poopa, scoopa.
He lives in my house, he lives in my house, he lives in my house, and I take him for a walk. He lives in my house, he lives in my house, he lives in my house, and I take him for a walk. No one is gonna know what that means at all.
I have come from the year 3025. For 1,000 years, humanity has been at constant war over the answer to the most important question to all of mankind. I have traveled back in time over 1,000 years before Ryan and Barry became world leaders in order to ask them this very question so that our civilization can be saved. So Ryan and Barry, please answer this ultimate question. What is the best flavor of crisps? This knowledge will put an end to our terrible conflict.
My question for you is, what was the most embarrassing thing you did growing up?
Solid question there for you, Ryan. I'm going to direct that right towards you.
Something immediately...
Can I say, it's interesting that you know it straight away on the spot. So,
I feel like if I say this, it won't sound that embarrassing, but at the time, it was really fucking embarrassing. But then again, I imagine like a lot of embarrassing stories happen like that. I used to play basketball quite a bit at school.
Oh!
Yeah.
That's surprising.
I'm not very fucking tall. But I had like a
5'4", are you?
I had like a quick growth spurt. So in like year 7 to year 8.
So 11 to 12 years old?
Yeah. Like 11 to 13.
11 to 13.
I was one of the taller people. And then I stopped forever. And everyone just caught up with me and then overtook me. But in that time, I think... I remember around about like age 14, that was when I was like
peak.
Sort of like everyone had already caught up with
didn't
me.
Last long,
we were all like the same size, so I weren't like short then. So yeah, I used to play basketball and stuff. And then when I got short, I was just the 3-pointer person.
Oh, that's a good place to be.
Yeah, so I thought I was quite good, and I like played for like the year above as well. I got put on the year 10 team when I was in year 9
That's
or whatever.
A good sign.
That was quite good.
Yeah.
And we had like a basketball tournament, and it was our year, and the equivalent of me playing for the year above, we had some people in the year below playing for us as well.
Sure.
And we got given like a vest with a number on it, and I'm shit with numbers. Every time I watch football and stuff, like, or play football, like you'll go to me like, Ryan, mark number 8. I'm like,
can everyone just turn around? I need to see what number you are so I can mark you, please.
So yeah, I just don't pay attention to numbers.
Good. I mean, hopefully that means your head's in the game. You're not worried about numbers.
I can't remember where we come in the tournament. I don't think we won it, but
not with you playing.
And at the end, they did like an MVP, like the most valuable player.
Sure.
And they just said like, Right.
Don't. Can I just say
our school?
No.
They just looked straight at me and said, "Yeah, number 7." So I just got up. I was like, "Yeah, thank you." So walking all the way.
No.
I looked down. Number 6.
Oh no!
Whilst the lad from the year below was following behind, I turn around with like a glowing red face, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And then I looked at the PE teachers, and I can't say his name, but I'll say it to you and then cut it out. Mr. He looked at me and just like, "What the fuck are you doing? Sit the fuck down. You were shit."
Oh, I am mortified for you. Where was I during this? That's fucking hilarious. Oh, that's awful. And I understand why that's still with you, because that will live with you. Even if you live for 1,000 years, you'll wake up.
I'm so fucking glad that wasn't the Groundhog Day.
Imagine that every single day. That is, that's excruciatingly painful in every way. So how many people saw that happen?
So our whole basketball team, the PE teachers, and quite a lot of other schools. So no one really that I saw.
No girl. It wasn't in front of the entire school, which is.
I think there was some girls in the crowd or whatever.
Oh, it's just painful.
Yeah, still really embarrassing.
Really painful. And I bet you think about that more than you would let on.
Every day.
Oh god. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, have you ever played basketball since?
I think that was like my last.
I've never
game.
known you to really play basketball, so that put an end to that.
It's like immediately get into football after that.
That was a nail in the coffin. And now, you probably have a little bit of fear surrounding numbers in football.
Is that 2-point or is it 3-point? There's no fucking point, Ryan. Get off the fucking court.
You were shit.
Ryan and Barry, would you answer this, please? I've got a dilemma for Knackers in the breeze. It plays on my mind and it keeps me awake. Would you ease my nerves, oh please, for goodness sake? Would you like to have a finger for a tongue? What's the largest thing you put up your bum? With kisses, would you smother the father? Would you rather with a noose? Would you rather be hung?
It's hanged.
Hey, so I think it's probably time for the game. Barry's game. Shit game. Terrible game. Waste of time. Do that every time, please. So we've for new listeners there's a game every week. They are thought of sporadically. They come in moments of inspiration. We've had games such as Radio True True, Radio Nana, As the Crow Flies. That was an interesting game. Guess the Punchline, brilliant. Smell My Condiment.
Smell My Condiment.
Classic.
Dildo or Fish.
Dildo or Fish, that's the favourite. Catch-22, Celebrity Murders.
I haven't played that in a while. That was supposed to be an ongoing thing.
It was, yeah. Count the Cat, another great game. Another great game. And for a while, we've bigged up the fact that episode 20 will be a very special game. And I tell you this now, humble listener, I put in more time into the game that we're not about to play than I put into any of my games. And the reason we're not about to play the game that I promised we would play is because it just, when I finally listened to what I'd started to create, it wasn't okay.
So it's the equivalent of, we've been waiting for Avatar 2 and 3 for a long time, and now you've delayed it.
And you've
delayed the genius artwork that is coming.
And you get She's All That too, or whatever. Yeah. So
is that Amanda Bynes?
I had no idea. So anyway, the game we were supposed to play that I did put a lot of time and research into was Porn or Labour, and and you can get obviously you can guess the concept, but it involved me looking at pornography videos.
Oh, I know you just don't do that.
No, here's the thing: I didn't. That's part of the reason I went. I can't do this, but I can't
do this again.
It's bad enough looking for Labour videos. So if you listen to this. Okay, so that's one in Labour.
When you said Labour, I thought you meant like a working environment. Is this porno or is this a builder?
Right, no. This was women in labour pain or women enjoying sexual intercourse on camera. So it just, do you know what I mean? In this era and my moral, it wasn't right. Okay, when I lined these clips up and I played them, it just did not. It wasn't right. It's not okay.
What I want to see or hear is someone in labour and a man just grunting in the background.
No, that's not that you want. That's not that you want to ever hear.
I don't want to hear that.
Where's the? So I did put in quite a bit of time trying to find. First of all, Labour videos of women in Labour that was, and then here's the thing: I was so engrossed in that task that when it came to it's time to look at pornography, then it hit me. I thought, what am I doing? This is not okay. And it's alienating.
The multitude of Labour videos you've got saved on your hard drive.
Well, that's the thing. Like my YouTube history is just ruined. It's all just Labour birthing videos, breached birth.
So you get a load of suggested videos.
Yeah, and there's all like woman breaches birth in 2016. It's like I don't want to see these things.
Woman gives birth in a field. And it's filmed.
Exactly. A lot of them are thinking, who's filming this and why? Why are you filming this? Anyway, so we're not playing Porn or Labour today. Okay, that was the game.
Question on every listener's mind is: how do you come up with these games? And what if you think I need to do like a radio game? Your immediate thought is porn. What's like porn? Giving birth.
Well, can I just say the concept is the sounds of the woman. That was the concept, okay? But it was. I don't know what made me think of it, but it's alienating, isn't it? It's alienating to our female listeners, and it's just not okay. I'm not a huge fan of pornography anyway. And I didn't want my history on my phone to be full of pornography, so I spent a lot of time looking at Labour birth videos, and I learnt a lot, but it has not helped me. I didn't want to do the game. I hope you understand, and I'm sorry, listeners. So the game you've got instead, again, it hasn't really got a name, but it does have a jingle, and the jingle is thus.
It's what we all do. Animal too. Do a little fart, do a little poo.
Okay, so that's
a little laugh there.
Yeah. So that's I guess it's called Animal. Yeah. So it's
to do with poo.
Wow.
So this is the second game that's going to be involved with.
Do you know what? Unfortunately, so. And do you remember the name of that game?
Play that.
Play that. I forgot about that game. Okay, yeah. So yeah, and this game is an anecdote or an antidote, sorry, to all the people that say, "Oh, you're so philosophical now. You're so deep."
So many.
I've got to go. Are we? Because we're about to play Animal. So the game is simple. I've got some farts here, and you just tell me, is it a human fart or is it an animal fart? Okay.
So this isn't the big game.
The big game was Porn or Labour, and it's not okay. All right, it's not okay to play that game in this day and age or any age. Okay, it wasn't morally okay. So this game is a nice, safe, family-friendly game, and it's called Animal Farts. Okay, so you got to tell me, is it an animal or is it a human? And a bonus point if you guess the animal that farted. If you think it's an animal.
How large do you think my knowledge is of animal farts? Do you think?
Do you own dogs?
Oh, that's an anteater. That one is a muskrat.
I tell you what, I won't give many hints, but I will give you one hint now. There are no anteaters in this competition.
Woodpeckers?
You'll have to wait and see, won't you?
Okay.
How was your Rio? Okay, so here we go. Here's the first of all the farts. Human or animal, baby?
Through my headphones, then that just sounded like white noise. I want to say that is an animal.
There's running water involved in that one,
and I am going running water. I was going to say hippopotamus, but
okay, interesting.
Is that by running water? I don't know.
That was that white noise you heard. There was water involved.
Maybe like a.
Is that there to throw you off?
Flamingo? Is that like a near running water? That's more like still water, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's near running water? That isn't a salmon. Maybe a deer.
Very interesting. I can reveal that was indeed an animal. Well done. 1 point, everyone. They're going crazy in here. They're going crazy. Sit down. Woo! That's a good sound. It was an animal. So you get 1 point, but it was a cat in a bath. So you only get 1 out of 2 points. So well done there. Okay, next question. Animal or human fart?
This is like a massive reason why I got into podcasting. I think that was too structured. I think that was a human fart.
You think that was too structured to you?
I think that was someone pushing it out.
That was.
I've got a keen ear and he's got a keen rear.
I like that.
Or she. You fart too.
It was.
Females.
Extra point if you guess the gender. No, that was. I can reveal. It was indeed a human being. Well done. So there we go. That's 2 out of 3 possible points. Well done. Here we go. Are you ready? Farts. Animal or human? It's nice. Short and sharp, that one. Short and sharp.
That could be like a dog or something. It sounded like very like brief and short, like it is pushed out. But then again, I've heard my dogs fart, and there's kind
Interesting.
of like that.
Okay. I mean, I will say always follow your gut.
Well, that's what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with a dog.
Okay.
Canine.
I tell you what, I didn't expect it to be this good. It was a dog.
Yes.
That is 4 out of a possible 5 points. How well is he doing, everybody? He's doing really well this game. Okay, I tell you what, we are closing on the end of this game, right? Which is a shame. So, here we go. Human or animal? What are you doing?
My favourite bit is the end there, where it's kind of like...
I like that you've got a favourite bit.
I don't even want to like get into this, but what I'm picturing is like
Right.
his cheeks flapping.
Okay.
And that got to the point where the cheeks stopped flapping and there was just pure air coming out. Which
good and
makes me think human. I'm gonna go human.
I can reveal that it was indeed a human.
Oh yeah!
You're analysing is just absolutely. That's a 5 out of possible 6 points. I think he's on fire. It's the last one. This is my favourite of all the farts. We'll stop that there. That carries on for a while. It's not a chainsaw massacre.
I thought it was like a remote controlled aeroplane or something.
It does sound like a drone.
I felt like they had a crowd.
Sure.
And the crowd was gathered specifically for that moment. Right. So I was thinking, what animals are able to fart on demand or on your demand? I can't imagine like saying to like a cow, "All right, Molly,
listen to what you're saying.
Give us your moo-moo out of your arsehole."
Listen to what you're saying.
Give us your moo-moo out of your arsehole. What am I saying?
So you just said, I can't imagine going to a cow and saying, "Give me your moo-moo out of your arsehole." What animal could you imagine doing anything like that?
And she'll just think it's utter nonsense. But I think if a crowd was gathered, you'd have to have a human who would be able to do it on demand, and that is a ridiculous noise coming from that end of human. But I think because of the crowd, I'm going to go farting on demand as human.
Okay, lights down, please, everybody, and I hope you've been playing at home. It's the final question. It's his chance here to go 6 points out of a possible 8, which is very good. I can reveal that it was a hippo.
Oh!
Hence the crowd. It was not a human. I can see why you thought that, but they were at a zoo.
Oh, okay.
And I thought
they were gathered around specifically for the fart. Like, gather round, watch me fart. Actually, I want to go to whatever event was in my head.
Yeah, I'm going to say, have you ever been to one of these? That sounds
like
like
some Victorian freak show, but it's just a farter.
I know that you've been down this dark world because you got such a good score, and only somebody who's been down that dark road will know a lot of those. You know, you did so well, better than I imagine a lot of people that played along at home did. So well done. That's the end of Animal Fart.
Do I get any bonus points for predicting if they followed through or not?
You do, and I'll reveal those in the next episode if you're a lucky boy. That was Animal. Thank you.
Knackers in the breeze.
Right, so we've got a question here from the Terracast podcast, which I've just started listening to. I went to watch Godzilla the other day. They've done an episode about Godzilla, and they review a lot of like contemporary films and stuff.
Sound interested?
And I really love their like enthusiasm for like films and stuff. It's like I wish I could have that. He's so enthusiastic about.
If the film is shit, does he still have the same enthusiasm?
Well, in my opinion, I went to go to Godzilla and I thought it was an absolute fucking pile of horse shit.
What were you expecting, though?
But he said that, like, what are you expecting going to see a Godzilla film?
Yeah.
What I was expecting was better.
Going there with no standards, no quality, nothing. The ceiling is very low.
No. Well, Godzilla was in it briefly-ish. Not as... I mean, the film was called Godzilla. You expect him to be in it a lot more.
Godzilla!
I thought the acting was poor.
I know, but what did you expect? You know,
I expected it to be a bit better. I really loved like the
cash cow.
The Godzilla film from what 98 or something like that. I know it got slated and a lot of people hated it.
A lot of that's probably down to you being a young fella.
Yeah, I was a kid when it came out, and I've watched it since, and I still
it holds up. Does it hold up?
I really like it. There's a storyline there. Godzilla's pretty fucking cool in that. He's kind of like a big fucking reptile dinosaur thing. He just smashes through New York. Whereas
that's what he always is, right?
Whereas I didn't really like the Godzilla thing in this. I know he's like more true to what Godzilla was in the past. But if you could put like the Godzilla side by side, you'd think like this new Godzilla was like older than the 98 Godzilla CGI wise or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think.
See, that proves it's just it's just a cash cow, isn't it? It's like, let's make it as cheap as we can and let's just make a shit ton of money off suckers like you. Done. They're the real Godzillas.
Hey guys, this is Cam from Terrorcast. Just want to ask a quick question. If you could be any horror movie character, you know what? Scratch that. If you could be any movie character, who would you be and why? As always, you guys are awesome. Just started listening to the show. Really like it. Keep up the good work.
Always good to get nice feedback.
Yeah.
Always good. Thank you.
So I'm just going to go against that question and say what character I wish you were. And it'd be the main character from The Truman Show, just to fuck with your head.
Oh, wow. You wish that I was him. So you wish I had a sort of a bit of a psychotic episode breakdown?
A bit.
My whole world.
An extended psychotic episode.
Oh, that lasts like 30 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And my entire world that I think's true just crumbles in front of me.
If it's any like comfort to you, it's only because I think it'd be funny.
Oh, that's what. As long as it's funny.
Yeah.
You should have said. Yeah, right.
Any character in any film. That's too broad. I can't think.
It's very
now
broad.
I can't think of any film.
Well, I've got.
Saving Private
I know.
Ryan.
I'm in. I got one. You ready?
Go for it.
Well, I've always, as a kid, it was my favourite film, and it holds up as an adult more so than Godzilla. And I would love to be this guy, and I always have. You ready? Willy Wonka.
You would like to be Willy Wonka?
Willy Wonka.
You little paedophile.
Sorry. Who the fuck? Do you know who Willy Wonka is?
More like Willy Wanker of children.
What? I didn't know that he was paedophile.
It's a fictional character, but you know, come on.
Those Oompa Loompas are all above the age of consent. Okay, all right. Just know that they knew what they were doing. But I think because he has a whole chocolate factory, it's a whole world. He can do whatever he wants. He's like a perpetual child. And he can choose to let people in. He can choose to let them out. He's an inventor. He gets he's got an infinite supply of chocolate. He can go to the Oompa Loompa land. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
wherever he wants. We don't know what's going on there.
I've only seen the old one. I've not seen the Johnny Depp.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. The old one. He's got great style. He looks fucking great. He can play the flute. He's just a great, wacky, all-round, happy fella. So I want to be him, please.
Maybe I'd like to be George of the Jungle.
All right, yeah, okay, I can see that.
Living in a big old tree house in...
Jane?
Where does he live? Like,
is
it Uganda? Is he living in... No, Burundi.
I have no idea.
I think it's Uganda or Burundi he lives.
Yeah, wearing a little skimpy little outfit.
Yeah.
Good muscles.
Gorilla with John Cleese's voice.
Right, good, well remembered. And watch out for that tree.
He hits the tree and he's happy about it. He's just happy to be out.
So I wonder if Cam from Terrorcast has he ever reviewed George of the Jungle, the film?
I didn't see it on the episode list.
I would almost guarantee that he hasn't. But if he hasn't, he should.
Definitely. It's not that contemporary, but...
It's not contemporary at all, actually.
But it's still relevant to contemporary society.
Oh, it's a pillar of modern culture. It holds up.
You know what? We're going through Brexit, but do you know what? To help us go through Brexit is rewatching George of the Jungle over and over.
It's got so many layers. So many layers. It's so deep. Whoever wrote that, yeah, it's just brilliant. And I think no matter what era you're in and what you're going through in life, personally or politically, I think you can always find something in there to comfort you in George of the Jungle. So watch that, Cam, if you haven't already. and if you want to review it, even if it's just for us, can you give us a little 30-second review? please. Would really appreciate that. Of George of the Jungle. What are your thoughts? Do you know what I'd like to be? Is Saw. You know the guy from Saw?
Well, you'd like to be Jigsaw?
Yeah, Jigsaw.
Or you'd like to be one of the people that are sent into Jigsaw's warehouse?
I'd want to be him.
You don't want to be one of the people sent in, no? You don't want to try and get out the contraptions?
No.
Because I reckon you could.
I think I could too, but I don't want to have to prove myself.
As long as it's a kind of a guess the fart kind of contraption.
Oh, if it's one of those contraptions. If it's like, is it a rhino fart or a human
pain
fart?
tolerance kind of one.
No. If it's intellectual, just involving the mind, then I'll do it.
Then you still fail, but
but if it's specifically, is this a rhino fart or a human fart? I'll free you if you get it right. I'm in. Yes, I'll do that. Otherwise,
I think that's coming in Saw 8? Saw 9.
I might end up becoming my own kind of Jigsaw character, but the only way to escape is you have to play my games.
So and you have to get more than 6 out of 8.
Yeah, so you'll be fine. You're free. But anybody else, if you fall below the farty threshold, you're
As
out.
the crow flies, you said 50 miles, did you?
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually 65. Knife in your eye.
There we go. So watch out for Knackers in the Breeze Saw franchise films that are coming out soon.
Whilst I was listening to the Terracast podcast, I don't know if I misheard this, but I think they said they were planning on releasing a horror film themselves, or trying to get funding to do their own little horror film.
That's incredible.
So,
That's incredible.
Yeah, if that is true, then Terracast, you have our support, and we'd like to get updated on that. So.
100%. And also, I would like, if there's any opportunity to be involved in that, whether it's a script review,
if there's any characters that need to pass wind, we are there. We're there to provide.
If you need
audio for
an
that.
English-speaking, fool guy, or a fool in script to be sort of the goofy best friend, Rye is there to help you.
We look forward to the audition.
I don't audition for anyone.
Day 11 on the island. I've discovered some human footprints in the sand, so I decided to follow them around the island. I've trekked the whole circumference of the island, and they led straight back to my camp. Turns out they're my own footprints. How did I become so deluded? I have so many questions to ask that need answering. Obviously, there's no internet here, so I can't send a voice clip via private message to Knackers in the Breeze on Facebook. Until then, I will continue to journal my time stranded on this island.
Right, in the little interlude there, we were just discussing that we should have an official beer to sponsor our podcast, or at least one that we go to.
Well, I wouldn't say necessarily beer. I'd say just beverage.
Beverage.
Could be a cocktail.
And I can't think of any podcast better to go to for that advice than Gears and Beers, because I think they talk about, is it Great Northern or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. They consume a lot of drinks. A lot of drinks on their podcast.
The father of Would You Rather is currently travelling around Australia, or is currently working in Australia in Queensland.
Sure.
And he sent me a photo of one of the ales in Australia, and it's called My Wife's Bitter, and he sent me a photo, which I'm just showing to Barry now.
What I like there is he got a whole crate as well.
Yeah. Just to give a demonstration to you, I'm just going to take a photo of this and just drink it all in the bath.
And by the entire crate, please. Oh, you can just take a photo of no. I need to take a photo of the entire crate from my own bedroom.
Is that why you're already naked? Yes, I'm having it in the bath. Can you please pour it? We're not in your room. We're in the foyer. I said pour the bath. Anyway.
Your eyes went really dark then. When you said pour the bath, which I've never heard, by the way, as a phrase. Is that what you say? What do you say?
Oh, right, yeah, no, I do say run a bath. I don't know why I said pour a bath.
You have listened to another exceptional podcast episode of Knackers in the Breeze. If you want to ask Ryan and Barry a question, send a voice note via private message on Facebook. Just search for Knackers in the Breeze. Join them again soon in their quest for philosophical enlightenment. Ciao.
That was another fantastic episode of Knackers in the Breeze. We laughed, we cried, we shed some tears, and we shed some smiles, didn't we now? it was a good episode. Thanks to me. It's the 20th episode. Of
20th episode is a milestone. I'm sorry we drank, but we can't achieve this milestone without celebrating at least.
I think drinking alcohol definitely is apparent.
Yeah.
It's definitely apparent.
It was in our early episodes as well. We've got a lot of feedback. So if you enjoyed the podcast then and you'd like to support us, then either you can send in a verbal question or just a written one now. We need questions, so
or you can
send in a written one, but verbal ones are always going to get like a priority.
Or just any feedback as well, no matter what it is, any suggestions, any ideas.
Yeah, verbal or written is fine. Just send us a bit of feedback, send us a question. If you're a listener on any platform, or on iTunes, or on Spotify, or on YouTube, or on, I don't know,
wherever you get your podcast, we are there. And give us like on FaceEB, Facebook, and you'll get all the news and goss.
And you'll obviously get the reminders when we got a new episode, because we're not massively consistent. We do it as and when.
We don't really have a set day, do we?
It's usually kind of every 3 weeks-ish when we can, when we're both free. Shit. So we would like to get more regular, but jobs and shit, eh?